everybody's like, "Oh my God, you just won your pro card." I'm like, "Oh my God, I did. Wait a minute. Like, what just happened?"
Welcome to the only place where real, raw, and vulnerable conversations happen with IFBB Bikini Pros to give you an inside look at their struggles, strategies, mindset, passions, and all of life beyond the stage. This podcast is made to inspire, motivate, and remind competitors and the average gym goer that even the most extreme lifestyles and elite athletes have their ups and downs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Celeste Rains-Turk, and now it's time for the Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast. Today's guest is someone who truly embodies longevity, perseverance, and intention in this sport. She's been competing since 2017 and competing in 4 regional shows and then winning her pro card at her second pro qualifier, climbing from 16th place out of 26 to winning her class in Masters and Open at North Americans in 2019. She has continued to show up proudly as a natural athlete with her first pro win in 2025 at the Natural Battle of the Titans, where she won Masters and Open. And with a background in both exercise science and psychology, she's passionate about fitness as a lifestyle, about mental health, and about helping others along their journey too. Welcome to the show, Meshaya Keaton. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am really good. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to have you here with me today. And I always like to start by asking if there's anything you do or think about, or maybe even a ritual you have before your heel hits the stage.
A ritual. I always try and tell myself that you have put in the hard work. Just go out there and show them what you did and show them how much you enjoy this and just know that you are a diva out there. So I have to put that in my head. Like, I am a diva. Like, because I get so nervous.
Really?
So it is, I'm such an introvert. I can be an introvert, extrovert, both of them, but like I have to tell myself, like, you got this and you look great. And it's all about all the hard work that you put in.
Do
So
you
my
feel like that puts
ritual,
you in a
g-
good zone? Like, does it change your personality when you get on stage?
it helps me with like my confidence to like self-talk. I do a lot of self-motivation, self-talking to try and like prepare to get on the stage. I have certain songs that I play in my head because I know you
Good.
can't pick your song all the time. So there's like certain motivating songs that I play or I have my headphones in. If I don't have my music at the time, that just helps.
I love
So,
that. Do you have a favorite?
um, it's all of like the girl power songs, like Beyonce, like I'm a Diva or some Rihanna, something like that that makes you feel like sexy when you get on stage. Because that's all what it's about. Like how
Oh,
feeling
yeah.
sexy and confident.
That's right. I practice posing so much to Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls that literally like I watched back my posing or my like
Uh,
stage presence and it matched perfectly with I was like, well, that just goes to show you. Like it really makes a difference.
See, it does.
So I think
I
that's
love
great
that.
yourself to like, through music. You know, you could take on this energy and this power. And I know mental health is something you openly care about. And of course, you really
Hmm.
like prime your mind. So I'm curious how you have approached mental health over the years as an athlete, as well as like what some of your mental strategies have been, because you just said that's something you really prioritize.
Yeah, for sure. So mental health for me, like, is about the fear of being in front of a crowd as well, too. So like I face that fear by getting on stage and broadcasting and showing like exactly what I've worked on in the gym. So that right there, like it helps a lot. Even though I get so nervous, and for me to face that fear is like a big thing for me because first off, like anxiety kicks in so much. I've already realized I probably have anxiety. I haven't never been diagnosed with it, but I'm pretty sure I do. So to be out there and do that and not have a mental breakdown or a panic attack, freak out, like I actually like applaud myself. Like, oh my God, I actually like faced my fear and did this and I didn't trip, I didn't fall, I didn't do anything to make myself look crazy. So like that's a big, big accomplishment for me as well. And then I mentally prepare myself by just like calming my body down and like I said, listening to that music, try and stay calm, not freak out, not get in my head, look at the other people and compare myself. That's another thing with mental health as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then even in off season right now, like not being fixated on like what I look like, what the scale was saying, just get in there and do what I need to do and work on like the places that I need to work on in the gym and stay consistent. That is a big thing right there. That stay
Yeah.
consistent, not get in your head, and then just take it one day at a time. Because you can easily like get on the scale and be like, oh my God, I'm getting fat, I'm getting fat, I'm getting fat. And that's what a lot of people think. And I try not to do that. So they're like right now, I'm like taking a break from getting on the scale every day because
Mhm.
Adam likes to keep track of your weight and have you weigh yourself every day. And I told him, like, I'm going to weigh myself during check-in, and that's it. We're not going to do this every day. So that helps as well with my mental health. So I'm not fixated on what the scale is. And then I also know that I can just enjoy having a cheat meal every now and then and still stay on track.
I think that's all so great. And I really appreciate you sharing that because I think those are some key non-negotiables for really keeping balanced and explain a lot of your longevity, honestly, in the sport. Because when we get so caught up in perfection and or the scale or how we execute on things, it's so easy to get burnt out or exhausted because we lose sight of like what really matters to us in this. So you're able to see, okay, bodybuilding gives me an opportunity to face fears. And
Mm-hmm.
that really stands out to me for a lot of reasons because I think for someone, you're saying that you have a fear of like getting on stage and doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you even decide, okay, yeah, like I'm gonna do bodybuilding, I'm gonna step on a stage?
Um, that's a good question. So I just worked out just for my mental health, pretty much. I would go to Planet Fitness and it would just be like a stress reliever for me. It was just something that I enjoyed. And I just had so many people like, oh, I see you coming here all the time. I can see your body changing. You ever thought about competing? So I just had like coaches coming up to me,
Mm,
different people saying that they see changes. I never paid attention to it because at the time I was just working out. I wasn't taking pictures of progress or anything. I was slowly changing how I was eating. And I just kept on saying, no, 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 I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. And then I had like a friend, two friends that wanted to compete, and they asked me if I ever thought about doing it, if I would do it with them. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I never looked into it. I don't want to like look like a dude, which is what I thought. Like, I don't want to look all muscular and lose my femininity and all that stuff. So then, like, I just started like researching it because I knew nothing about bodybuilding at all. I didn't even know that there was like different categories, nothing. So I just researched it, looked it up. I already knew how I would look from looking at the research if I did diet down and ate right, what my body does. And I'm like, I definitely would be bikini. So I decided to say, okay, let's give it a try. Let's do it. So I picked a coach, which was a coach I started with before Adam, which was
mhm.
Steve Burke at the time. And I
Okay.
just told him, I want to compete. I want you to be my coach. Let's try it out. But I have these rules and stimulations. I want to stay natural. I don't want to lose my voice and sound like a guy. And I think I would do body bikini. And at the time, I probably was thicker, had a little bit more muscle. So it looked like I could do like physique or figure or something.
Hmm.
And he's like, oh, okay, that's great. Let's get you in. We're going to start you in figure physique. I'm like, no, no, no. I already know. I'm
Really?
bikini. Yes, like I already knew what it
Yeah.
was. And he's like, okay, we'll get started and then we'll go from there. So he introduced me to Mike Davies, which is in Columbus, Ohio. He does Ohio State University or Ohio State Championship show. Let me get that right.
Mhm.
And his show was like 8 weeks out. So we started the diet with him. He's like, "Why are you not doing my show? You look like you're great. Like you can just go in there and you look great." And I was like, "I don't know what to do." At this point in time, I don't know how to walk. I don't know the routine. I don't know anything. So Mike Davies had classes where he like teaches you how to pose, how to walk. So it was like group classes and stuff. And then we did individual. Did that with him. He got me on a diet and got me in his show with an 8 week prep.
Oh,
And I
wow.
did it and I did it and I won. I won my class and I was just so shocked because it was my very first show. I didn't know what to do. Like that's how I got into it. And people were like, "Oh my God, you look great. Like you won. You should do it again." And I was like, um, okay, I'll do it again. So like that
Wow.
got me on the stage. Like I had no clue. And I just have like these guys just like helping me out. That's exactly how I got started. And I just kept going from there
Oh, I
and
love
haven't
that.
stopped since.
That is so amazing. It sounds like fitness really started as this like mental support for you, and it maintains
It
that
did.
role
Mhm.
in your life. But then you had so much encouragement and support from people in the community. And I actually wonder if that informs some of how you interact with other people in the community as well. Like, is that part of why you want to help support people too or guide people in this?
I do. I feel like I didn't realize how much I'm an influence on people until I hear other people say like, "Oh my God, I see how you look and you look great. What do you do?" Or I see like how you work out all the time and I want to be like that and what can I do? And it feels good to be able to like help people do that. I always have people saying like, "Can you help me do this? Can you help me do that?" And I love to help people in the first place. I'm like a nurturing type person. So to actually be able to make a difference in somebody's life is just amazing to me to do. So it's like
Absolutely.
I'm so passionate about it and makes me want to like learn and do more.
I bet. Well, and like you've had so much success as well. And you've had, you had mentioned, anyways, that support from others was a big part of you continuing to move forward. And it seems like your family, from, digging into the depths of your Instagram page and scrolling in
Yeah.
preparation of this, and like your family seems to have really supported you from the beginning. So I'm curious if their perspective on health and fitness even changed or evolved alongside your journey.
It actually has.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this because I was just with my mom yesterday, and when I was in prep this past prep, she actually like did ate some of the food that I was eating too because she like helps me out and she's like, "What do you need from the grocery store?" So I'll like send her my list and she's telling me like, "I got this and I got that and I'm gonna eat this all week." So she's definitely has looked at like, okay, I want to be healthier. And I think these are the things that I need to eat to do that and start to get a more understanding of it. I've taught her along the ways, how to measure her food out, which is challenging for her, but I was like, baby steps, that helps. And then also the same thing, like with my dad and my sister, they manage their health a lot more. When the weather is nice outside, they like to go on walks every day. My mom started getting in the gym to do some workout. So it's just like so rewarding just to see my family like, okay, I want to also be healthy as well. Because I know they're getting older. So, and
Yeah.
then they also support me through it. At first they're like, oh, this is just another hobby that you have. But now they see like how serious I am about it and how it's like bettered my health as well and how I look, and they want to do the same thing. So that just makes me happy.
Yeah, and like now you're like you're not just a professional athlete, which already was a huge accomplishment and takes it out of hobby realm, but
Hmm.
also you're a champion. So that in itself is incredible to go from, oh yeah, like I'll try it and see to now, no, I'm winning shows and then I'm a pro and then I'm winning as a pro. Like that's a big deal to progress in that way. So I could see how them watching that journey and seeing like this isn't just for fun, although it is fun.
Right.
Um, clearly you love this. It's also there's more to it than that. So when you have support in this sport, I think it allows you to go a lot further
Yeah.
personally in ways like because I really do feel like a lot of people see this sport as potentially isolating, whereas I think it can connect people as your journey so clearly has described. And I was curious how you have over the years established sponsorships, like meal prep and supplements, and how that's informed or maybe influenced your preps as well.
Yeah. So sponsorships were a little challenging at first. I guess I needed to like reach out a little bit more, but I have found some local ones that um help me out a lot, like a Clean Eats Meal Prep Company here in Columbus. I know they're starting to be like a little bit worldwide. But before I had got into prep, I would always eat there like constantly.
Wow.
So they started to know me like by name, by heart
Yeah.
on a regular because I'm always there and ask me how I'm doing. So they took me up as a sponsorship. So I decided to try them out like for one of my preps, like just to see like how I would do just eating the clean meals and advertising it. And I just would advertise it on my social media handle all the time, and people are like, "Oh my God, what is that? That looks so good." So then other people started going there, and then that's when they got me on doing the like a sponsorship code. So if you use my code Meshaya, you can get a discounts there. They have meal plans that you can do, weekly meal plans where it's like either something different every week is their weekly meal plan, or you can actually like make your own meal plan in there
Oh,
and
that's
like
really
stick to the same thing. So it's like real convenient. So for a while I would like try different things just to see what I like that was in within my macros at the time. And then once I got deeper into prep, I would just like stick with the same exact foods every day. So you can like customize them. And I
wow.
love how like you can actually go in the store and they have a full menu and you can like make your own bowls, make your own meals or whatever the case may be. And then they also have like a freezer full of food where you can pick out your meals as well. So
That sounds
they're
amazing.
very convenient. I would have never thought to try them in prep, but it definitely played in my favor for sure.
Oh yeah, I bet. And like with how Adam is too, like he likes things consistent, especially when it comes
Hmm.
to peaking. So like I remember like, I sent him what I've been eating the last month and he down to like my almond milk I put in my
Hmm.
coffee, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's probably really nice that you could have and know reliably like it's gonna be consistent.
Yes. 'Cause yeah, we were doing like we're doing a macro plan. So it's like it takes a minute when your macros get adjusted to figure out like, okay, what can I eat? But
Mm-hmm.
it does help like when you just eat the same thing, you don't have to worry about that.
That's
But
right.
you
Yeah.
also, if you have a cheat meal, then clean eats is also within those macros and it's still like healthier options than eating like something from fast food. So
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. That's actually a really good point because I think this kind of circles back to some of your passion in general for fitness and nutrition and overall health and supporting other people. What I find, because I work as a mental health professional serving competitors mainly through Build More Than Just a Body, my business, but one of the things that I notice is sometimes people get stuck in this mentality that a cheat meal or a free meal or a refeed has to be like the most gnarliest thing when it
hmm.
really could just be like an elevated version of what we
Yeah,
normally eat. And neither is necessarily right or wrong, but
right.
it really is great to consider. And I think it can challenge that mindset of, oh, like I have to be perfect all week so I can have this
Hmm.
really nasty thing. Instead, it's like by following, at least for me, I found following a macro plan making my own meal plan from those macros, it gave me so
Hmm.
much freedom, so much flexibility where cheat meals was no longer about like what's the like greasiest thing I could get. It was
Right,
more like, oh, maybe I'll get like butter chicken or something. You know what I mean?
right, right. Maybe I'll eat a little more steak than I normally have
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah,
Do you
yeah.
feel
And
like
that,
that's a big topic of conversation with people you're helping with their nutrition plans and kind of focusing on weight loss and healthier habits?
yeah, I feel like it's a challenge for them because they're trying to figure out like, okay, I have to stick to this and this only. I don't know like how I'm gonna do that. I do have one friend, she's like, it was like very hard for her to just stick to the same thing all the time. And then she felt like it was just food that she couldn't get in. And then it just took her a while to like figure it out and actually like stay consistent with eating it and to where it just became like routine and it just was normal and it was just a habit and it was just something that she enjoyed. She just had to get used to the change. So
Yeah,
then when she did finally have a cheat meal, she's like, I didn't even want it. So
exactly.
that's the thing, like people have to make sure they just give it some time, which it takes time.
It
Just like
does.
for me, it takes time to adjust to eating only a certain amount of food to being able to eat more. I still have to adjust to that.
And similarly, you're adjusting to your body changing also. Like you're
Hmm.
eating similar foods, just higher amounts, but then also your body's changing. And like you said earlier, one of the things you're doing currently in improvement season is you're not weighing yourself as much. Do you feel like that is helping you to stay more focused on like the process of executing in the gym and but putting on muscle or making the adjustments the judges asked you to make?
It definitely is. I focus more on just making the adjustment the judges told me to make and focusing on like the lifts in the gym compared to just focusing on the scale. And I'm not focusing on, okay, like the scale went up this week, so then I need to do this with my
Mhm.
food. It's like, no, I've realized that my body fluctuates with weight depending on like my stress level, how much sleep I got, how much water intake I got that day, multiple things, not just like, oh my God, I ate a piece of candy and now the scale says I gained 10 pounds. Like I try not to focus on that at all and just focus on the fact that like I know that I killed it in the gym this week, and I know that I hit all my food goals this week. So the scale went up. Oh, that could just mean I just built some more muscle,
Right.
or it just could be that time of the month. Like, no
Mm-hmm.
big deal about it. So,
Love that so much because what you're emphasizing here is what matters more is your execution, not so
hmm.
much whatever's happening on the scale. Okay, eventually that will come into play as a data point, but what matters more is how you're following through. And a lot of the times, I think that it can end up being a detriment as a data point in improvement season for some people because they go, oh, I have a cap. I have a cap. I can't gain over X amount. But then they limit
Hmm.
their potential to push themselves and push their food or push their limits really and reach a new level where I think a lot of the maybe I should say because if I say a lot of the best athletes I know, people might think of like placings, but a lot of the most improved, like most
Hmm.
improved players, I've noticed they're the ones who have focused on execution more than they have on, oh, what's the scale? How many pounds away from stage weight am I? Like they're not limiting
Hmm.
themselves to that.
Right, right. That is so true.
And you've
And
obviously done that because you've
yeah,
had major success over the years in improving.
yes, and it took some years like for me to realize, or like, what is it that I need to do differently to keep improving each year to compete and be better than last year and be better than the last show. So I've also had to learn that just because certain things fit within your macros, like you can't eat continuously all the time. There's
Yeah.
certain things that don't agree with your body. So I had to learn about certain things that okay, I had to cut this out because my body is not responding very well to this. So it just took a lot of like trial and error on certain foods to keep in and take out.
I like that perspective because it also like macros, it is like an account. So you might be able to fit in an Oreo, or you might be able to fit in a PB&J sandwich. But then
Hmm.
you look at the macros for the rest of your day and you're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
hold on. I can't be
What else
hungry and
can you
I'm
have?
overweight. Yeah.
Exactly. And not even those things too. It's like what your body can digest as well too.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
know
like
there were certain
broccoli
like
or vegetable.
yes, I had
Hmm.
to learn that. I was like, evidently my body does not like broccoli, so we're gonna
Me too.
scratch that out.
And also like some of the classic competitor foods like asparagus, for example, like
Yeah,
there's a limit I can go to, and then it's like too much fiber. Like it ends up really
yeah,
messing with my digestion.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, and those are things like, okay, this is something that I think is actually really important because macros, following a macro-based approach, sometimes can seem like, oh, you just don't even think about those things, when in reality, you start to think, or you really start to see more of how important those aspects to it are. It's not just what can I fit, it's what
Yeah,
can make me fuel and feel good. Um,
yeah.
you obviously eventually started working with Adam Atkinson, who's also my coach, and you've worked with him for a long time. So were you following macros prior to working with him, or did that start with him?
It started with him. So
Okay.
before Adam, I was just eating like a meal plan that someone like told me like, hey, eat this, and this. And I definitely had to adjust to that. And then after that, I met Adam, and he's like, we're gonna do macros and eat within the macros. So it was like kind of challenging at first to figure out like, okay, I don't know what to do to like what to eat to fit within my macros. So I use my Fitness Pal until this day. I'm a creature of habit when it comes to something that works for me.
Ew.
I've tried other apps and I'm like, yeah, I'm not used to these. So I just go right back to my Fitness Pal and use those to track all my food. And you'd be surprised when you track food, when you first track food and realize how much of a certain macro that you're not getting. Like for me, it was protein. I was not
Yeah.
eating that near enough protein as I should have been eating. Because protein is like one of the hardest things to get. So trying to figure out at first like what to eat to get the protein, what to eat to stay within the fat, what to eat to stay within the carbs. Like took a lot of me like just playing around with certain meals to see.
Yeah, that's amazing too. Like how you said when you first started, you it revealed to you where you were maybe lacking in nutrition. I found that it was really difficult because I also started, well, I started macro tracking a little bit before I started working with Adam. But then when
Hmm.
I started working with him, it was refining that. And one of the things that was difficult for me was like the raw weight versus the cooked weight and
Oh
realizing
yeah.
that was kind of
Yeah.
depressing at some points. I
Right.
was like,
Yes. And then he tried to teach us and I was like, I still okay, I'm standing here. My meal's ready, but I'm trying to calculate
yes,
how much is this cooked compared to raw. Yeah, that was
literally.
definitely challenging for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the things that like only I only did it in prep. Once I got into improvement season, I was like, chicken is chicken. I'm eating what this is what I'm eating. But in prep, I was
Right.
like, okay, I'll weigh it raw, I'll do the thing. And I started
Right.
doing like I would track in my fitness pal, um, like the recipe. So I'd put
Yeah.
like 32 ounces of raw chicken and then I just track it each week at how much it made in grams.
Yeah.
My fitness pal now, like if you look at all my meals, it's like it'll say like the chicken and then it'll say the date because I was trying to track like all the raw cooked and how it would because some weeks you just cook it more dry than others and
Right. 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 So it'll definitely weigh the different. Like
that's so hard. Like that's something
it
that's
is.
actually like I think an underrated challenge of macros, but also speaks to its what's the word I'm looking for? It speaks to its accuracy, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. But now I see in my fitness pal, like I don't know if other people have been putting it in or not, but they have it where you can raw or cooked option
Oh,
with
nice.
your in my fitness pal. I've noticed that people add certain things in. Um,
Oh, like when you go to select it, some people have already
hmm
put.
hmm
Yeah, I've
Because
seen that with.
they've done away with the scanner unless you pay for my fitness pal, which I think the scanner really helped a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not paying for the scanner. So I'll just have to manually put it in. So I just always like make my food. Like I'm always, let me create it
Yeah.
and put it in myself. And then I can just reuse that.
Oh, for
So that's
sure.
what
Yeah,
I,
like you said,
hmm
you're a creature of habit. You're like, I use that app, so that's
yeah,
what you stick to,
for
for sure.
sure.
So has your process evolved or changed like over the years as you've grown? Because, and let me kind of preface this, you had a very successful start in competing, as we talked about, and then you
hmm
went from 16th to first in a matter of 2 months, which secured your pro card win. So I'm curious, like what had to change, what had to evolve, what had to um, be different for you to experience that success over the years.
Um, I think being more consistent in the off season, which is my improvement season, um, also helped. Before I just was like, oh, I'm done. So now I can
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, I've been more consistent with what I eat. I've realized that what my body likes and doesn't like, and then the things also change, but what I like and don't like. The gym has really never changed. The gym is, I'm always going to go hard in the gym no matter what. So it was all about what changed as far as my eating habits. My eating habits have gotten a lot better throughout the years, for sure. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy my cheat days. Um, but from those past, going from 16th to first, I just had to dial in with training certain body parts a little bit more than others. Because I'm always like a total body trainer in the first place. Like I
Okay.
train everything because I feel like I haven't had anybody say like you are uneven, you need to be even here or there. It's always like work more here, but everything else looks great. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so what I'm doing, if I'm in the off season, in prep or anything, training my total body is something that I need to keep doing. Because I know certain people they'll just train like glutes or they'll just train shoulders or everything. But I've always just trained my entire body, even before I started competing. So that's something that I noticed that I need to train certain parts of my body a little bit more because I lean out so much. So I had to dial in and focus more on those parts of me, which is my lower for sure, um, to match what is coming to the stage. Because these girls are and pros are no joke. They are beastie out here.
Real. Well, and
So
you touted
go
being a
ahead.
natural athlete being very important to you. So are you seeing, well, as a natural athlete, are you thinking you're going to only compete at natural pro shows, or are you hoping to still compete at, or maybe compete at other ones too?
Um, I was competing at now shows that were not natural, and I wasn't pleased with my placements.
Right.
So since they came out with natural shows, the fact that everybody is natural makes a huge difference for me because I'm natural and competing against females that are enhanced is like I don't even know how I would match up to that unless my body just does a complete 360 and just is like, oh, like you definitely can compete with girls that are enhanced. Um, I'm hoping I can get there with how I've been improving with my training and my nutrition this time around on off season, and I know that if I win, I'm not gonna say when I make it to the Olympia, um, I will be competing against girls that are in hands. So I'm
That's
not gonna
right.
say I won't.
Right.
Um, I would give it a try again because I've done it before. That's how I started in competing in the first
Exactly.
place. They didn't always have natural shows, but this year it did feel good, or 2025, it did feel good to actually compete against girls that were not in hands that actually looked like they trained just as hard as me without enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just see what 2026 will bring.
I
So
love
I
that.
can't say if I will or not, but I'm hoping just to improve my physique from last year.
Yes. And you are, like you said, the efforts you're making now are going to pay off. And, if you end up winning the Ben Weeder and going to the Olympia, like, there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. And I think this past year, 2025 being a year where a lot more natural shows were happening, myself too, I only did natural shows for
Hmm.
2025. It was my every other show ever before that. There was no
Right,
drug, like
right,
nothing.
right.
So it's so nice. And I still got my ass kicked at the pro qualifier, but like it was,
Oh,
it's okay. It was an incredible experience. Like
yeah.
I'm grateful, but it put a lot of things in perspective for me. But one of the things that I really appreciated was I could see the natural potential people carried. I could see
Hmm.
how far I had come. I could see the difference too. Um,
Hmm.
but like you said, it's very different. The bikini
It is.
division, it's grown a lot. So
Mm.
you have refined yourself, your physique a lot. And you just mentioned something earlier about how you were a total body trainer before, but now you're kind of real or trained your total body before, but now you're kind of realizing you might need to spend more time in certain areas. What's the feedback you're working off of? What are you currently focused on?
So my feedback has always been my my glutes. I've never been a bottom dominant female in the first place. I always have been super slim, have a slim physique in the first place, and never have had a butt at all. So that is something that I
And you
had
built all
to
that?
build. Yes, I was
Awesome.
like pancake, pancake back there like
I love
nothing.
it.
Like it took years and years and years to build what I have now,
I
which
actually
is
don't
like
believe you. I mean, I believe you, but like I'm like looking back on your stage shots, I'm like, no, that's incredible that you built that.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt.
I,
That's just so impressive. Like if y'all haven't seen her stage shots, like that's impressive. So you worked really hard, of
I
course.
have. I've worked so hard to get something back there. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that. Like I look and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe I have built all that back there. So like just from seeing the progress that I made, it just makes me just want to just go in even harder in that area because I see how like other girls are what they're bringing to the stage and what I need to work on from my feedback. And I'm like, I can do it. I've done it
That's
so far, so I know I can do it. And I've made a lot of progress. So more to come with that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. And honestly, looking at your physique from this year too, I'm excited to see how you're going to build off of this. And of course, one of the things that also stood out to me from your journey was you won your pro card in both Open and Masters. So, how
Mhm.
did you ultimately decide that one, you were going to compete in both of those divisions, and then two, like what's been guiding your decisions for the class you compete in now?
Um, so at that time, I just picked both of them because I qualified for, I'm like, oh, let me try masters just to see. I think that was probably was that my first master show? I think that was my first master show.
I think from what
Um,
I've seen that was right,
yeah,
but
that was
double
my
check.
first masters. So I was like, oh, I qualified for masters now. So let me just try it out and see how I do in masters. And then the crazy thing is with what happened at that show. So let me tell you what happened at that
Oh,
show. So I got called out there during second call outs, which I was like, okay, I got second call outs. This is like during open, not during masters. So once I got off of stage, they're like, wait right here, don't go anywhere. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then they call back out first call outs again and add me to first call outs. And then that's when they do the comparisons. And then next thing you know, I'm in the middle of first call outs.
what?
So
So they made a
don't
mistake, or they were
they
like,
I don't know if they made it. I think they might have got me mixed up with there was another girl and we have similar names. My name is Meshaya, her name is like Misha, but our names are spelled like the same way, except I have a like a YA at the end of my name, and I think hers is a little bit different. And I can't remember if she was at that show or not, but I know every time I compete with her, they get us like confused with our
confused.
names or whatever. And there was one show, my name was like 23 and hers was like 32 or something like that. So that even made it
Oh my
even
gosh,
more
that makes it
challenging.
fun.
But I don't know if like I got missed and then they see
Right.
me come out in second call outs and they were like, wait a minute, why is she in second call outs? So then that's when they told them to like tell her to wait back there and then they brought first calls back out. I was so shocked about that because it's
Well,
just
yeah,
I was like content with it, like, oh, okay, I got second call outs.
right. Well, and you would think too that, like, it sounds like they missed you and then saw you in second and were like, whoa, we just missed our winner. Because if they had already looked at first call outs, you would think they would have gone, oh wait, we're missing, let's bring her in, like they
Hmm.
normally would. But the fact that it was after you already went on a second call, it's like, that's a great reminder too. Like, one, be grateful for whatever, but two, don't let that put your head down. You probably kept your
Yeah,
head held high and still fought for it.
I did. I did. But then after that, I was just like, oh my God. Like I was in shock. I was in shock for the longest that
I
I had
bet.
won that show. Like everybody's like, oh my God, you just won your pro card. I'm like, oh my God, I did. Wait a minute. Like what just happened? And then I go out there for masters and then the same thing. That same thing didn't happen, but like
Okay.
I won
I was
my
like, no, that didn't
my pro card. Like I won my the overall for it. So that was just like a moment that just is like I was just so much in awe
happen.
and so humbled about. I just was like, I don't know what just happened. I'm just so excited about it. And I couldn't
Mhm.
believe it
I
that
bet.
I just won it that fast. And then I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah,
It's like,
man.
what do I do now?
A pro now.
If you're looking for competition heels, jewelry, and fun competitor extras, then visit shoefairyofficial.com and use code CELESTE for a discount at checkout.
Yeah, that's amazing. So when you won, I mean, of course, something that stands out to me is it was the shock. But what was it that made you excited about winning? What was it that was like driving you to become a pro?
Um, I didn't even expect to become a pro like that soon. So I
Yeah.
didn't really think about like, oh, I'm doing this to become a pro like right now. I think in that moment, it had only been like 2 years. I was just like, I was getting comfortable with doing shows and competing, and it was just so fun. And that rush that I get just being on stage, I enjoyed. So I just was like enjoying those moments at the time. So in my
Mhm.
head, I wasn't thinking like, I want to be a pro, I want to be a pro, I want to be a pro today. So I was just in the moment with it.
Love that.
So once I became a pro, I was like, oh my God, now I'm doing pro shows. So that means that I'm going to be on stage with all these girls that I see on social media. And that just made me so much more excited. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I get to be on stage with this girl, this girl, this girl that I look at every day and admire.
I love that.
and now I'll get to be on stage with them.
That's a really cool perspective. I really like that because it's a great community that we have, and one of the I think benefits and exciting things for people when they go pro is they get to see the lineup and they get to have the timing of when they're going to be on stage, and you know who you're going to be connecting with, which is really fun too. But you did say earlier you weren't super happy with your placings at some of the shows as a pro. So with that journey not really being so linear, what were some of the harder moments stepping into the pro league, and how did you really process shows where placings weren't necessarily what you hoped for?
Um, I think how I had to process and what was hard was I got so used to like winning every show that I did. And
Mm,
then to not win once you became a pro, it makes you take a step back and remind yourself that every girl that you compete against in the pro meet is has also won every show. And this is how they got here. And you're not going to win every show. And it took me a while to like realize that like you're not going to win every show. But at the same time, I know I look better and better and better each show that I do, that I put all the hard work in, all the sacrifices, all the challenges to get here. And I know I did my best. And I know I stayed on track and I did my routine to get here. So it's like at this point in time, just continue to work and focus on what the judges are looking for. And at first I used to compare myself a lot to the girls, and I try my best not to do that and just try and see like what it is that, okay, the first three or the first top five, like what is it that they brought that the judges see that I need to improve on? Like, do they want broader shoulders or more glutes? So I've noticed those little things without saying like, oh, I need to look exactly like her because my body mechanics is not like her. I just know like the judges say I need to bring in this, so this is what I need to work on because that's what they're looking for. So
love
it
that.
definitely was mentally challenging to try and not be upset or not get in your head and think that, you know, you looked your worst. Because
Right.
you can easily do that. And I think the hardest was for me was this past show, which was the bin leader. It was very challenging for me to not place as well at that show because I had a knee injury before, like right after my last show. I did two shows in May, and I think my body just was tired. Um, it finally relaxed, and I had some issues going on. I had to go through PT with my knee. I couldn't bend it. I couldn't do cardio. I
Wow.
couldn't do a lot to the point where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I tore my meniscus. So I
Oh
had
no.
to get an MRI, get an X-ray, all that stuff done. Luckily, I didn't tear my meniscus, but I did have to go through physical therapy because it was like degeneration of my
Mm,
knee. They said it was like arthritis. And that I needed to stop lifting. That's what I kept hearing everybody say. I needed to stop lifting. And when
you're
I
like,
heard that,
right,
I'm like, there's no way. There's no
right.
way I can stop lifting. And with the injury and the pain that I felt, I still was going to the gym. I did focus more on my upper. I did focus more on the posterior side of me. There was a lot of workouts that I couldn't do, but I was determined to not let my knee stop me from going to the gym.
Love it.
I have heard things in my life of things that I cannot do, that I'm not capable of, and I am the type of person that I will prove that person or those people wrong. because I have learned to not give up on myself, and I've always been taught that there's nothing that you can't do.
That's
So
right.
I was determined, and I had already got invited to the Ben Reader, and I was like, I have to make this show and give it my best. So that's what I did, but it was still like disappointing for me to like
Of course.
not place like I wanted because I know that possibly if I didn't have the injury, I would have been looked more conditioned than what I was.
Hmm.
But I'm still proud of myself for doing it, and I still feel like I looked amazing and gave it all I got. So it took a lot for me to work through that mentally to figure out like I kept on like in my head, just to not get in my head in the I could have did this, I could have did that. Because there's nothing really, I did everything that I could as soon as I could. So,
And more. Yeah,
but
you pushed yourself a
I
lot.
can't wait. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's better. My knee is better now. I do still try and pay attention to certain things that I do to make sure I don't re-injure myself because they're like, you can't lift heavy, but I challenge myself to it, but I also make sure I'm careful with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not worth, you got to push yourself, but it's not worth pushing yourself so far that then like you lose all the opportunity to push
hmm
yourself.
hmm So I think that in that process of me going through that last prep, I did have to make sure I had dial in like a lot with my nutrition because there were
Yeah.
certain things that I couldn't do. And that was an eye opener for me too, to
Hmm.
realize like I can't really always count on the gym to make me look the way I need to look. I also need to 100% dial in on my nutrition. So I think that plays a
Hmm.
part into how I'm like in this improvement season, focusing more on nutrition as well as the gym too.
It sounds like that experience, although unexpected and challenging and quite a roller coaster, it really refined you as a professional. Sounds like it revealed some areas of necessary growth to support you in probably accruing some more wins and championships moving forward.
That's what I'm praying for. We'll see. Because I already told them that I am going to come back to the bin reader better than ever. I
Good.
challenge myself.
Oh, honestly, I have no doubt that you'll come back better. You always get better. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
be incredible to see. And one of the things too about this is like it also challenged you mentally. It wasn't just like a physical and nutrition demand. It was also like you had to, well, you always had resilience, right? Because you said people have told you no and you've said yes, watch me
Yes.
anyways. So you've had
hmm
that, but this like was just even more of that resiliency shining through. Did you have any particular experiences from your past that you were like, oh, I remember when this was told to me, but I overcame it? Did you have something you were referring back to?
Oh, I did for sure in college.
You want to share
In
it?
college. So yeah, so in college I started out as a nursing major. Um like I said, I've always been that nurturing person, so I always was like, "Oh, I should be a nurse. That's what I want to do. I want to help people to be a nurse." So I realized that I am not the best test taker when it comes to taking tests. Nursing tests, you always, every answer is correct, but it's like, what is the best answer? And I'm a very logical thinker, so I will take a test and I'll be like, well, it could be this because of this, this, and this.
Yeah,
So
I get
long
that.
story short with that, I did not succeed in the nursing. So
Uh-huh.
then that's when I had switched to sports and exercise science and psychology. Um, I was told that before I switched that I was not going to do nursing and I was not going to be in the program. And I was like, oh, yes, I am. I am. So I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I just kept trying. I got a tutor, I got help, I like got a study buddy. I did everything possible. They had to literally kick me out of the program to say, okay, no, like you're not. So I never gave up on myself at all of that. I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. Till this day, like I said, I would probably go back to school for nursing. I don't know if I will now, but I just never gave up on myself. I just didn't want to be defeated. That was just something that I just was always told, like, you can never, there's nothing that you can't do. My parents always taught me that. So I didn't want to feel defeated, and I really, really wanted to be a nurse. But there was other pathways where I met somebody that you can still help people along the way. And then this is the route that I noticed that you're good in.
Hmm.
So people noticed the other things that, I was better at and still be able to help people. That was still a nurturing side of me in a still caring way, even though it might not be nursing, that might not be the calling, but it was something else that was a calling where you can still help people.
That's
So
beautiful.
that's how I ventured off to that side without nursing. But it was a challenge for sure. It was a challenge.
What I love about that story, though, is you didn't let someone else make that decision for you. Like,
Yeah.
you were like, okay, you can say no, but I'm gonna do everything in my power until I absolutely cannot. There wasn't gonna be like you can't do it, so you better stop. You were like, no, I'm gonna keep working, I'm gonna keep trying. And
Hmm.
I think that takes so much mental toughness. But then, to be even more frank, it takes more mental toughness to accept that, well, shoot, now I got to actually move on to something else. And then to accept that, wait, this is good for me too. This allows me to still accomplish a greater good of
Hmm.
helping people. So your passion was always there and always the same. You just found a new way to define that success. And now look at you, like
Hmm.
you're helping people really preventatively.
Yes. Yeah. So that was my experience with that. That was very stressful, which I think a
Uh,
lot of anxiety came out from that. So that definitely brought me back to that when I hurt my knee.
yeah, oh, I'm sure. And the way that you handled that too was, really amazing to go through an injury and say, okay, what can I do even with this? And sometimes we get caught up in everything has to be perfect, and therefore just throw in the towel because I don't have everything, all my ducks lined up right. Like my knee is injured now, so I shouldn't do it. I can't do it. But you
Yeah.
actually were like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna still push through. But did you ultimately come to terms with the fact that like you did do the best you could, or do those questions ever still linger?
Um, Not now. They don't linger anymore. I know that I did the best that I could. I had to really sit down and think about what was it that I could have done differently.
Hmm.
And in my head, I'm like, I did everything that I could do to not further injure myself to where I could not do the show at all.
Yeah.
So if I needed to sit back for a minute, I did it. But at the same time, like I never gave up on myself. I found other means of things that I could do in the gym without even injuring myself even more. And what it did was improve other areas of my body even more.
Mhm.
So,
That's right.
uh,
Yeah. Made the best of it.
yeah.
Yeah. And it improved
So,
you as an athlete, clearly as a pro. Like you've got even more of a focused mindset. So I'm wondering now, you're in your improvement season, you're focusing on making changes, you're going to come back to the Ben Weeder. That's your intention. So is that 2026?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
yet. I don't know. At first I said I think I need some time to sit out to build and grow more so I can build more muscle. I guess we'll see what my body does. I
Yeah.
guess we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's good. Are you looking for anything in particular? Like, are you tracking any markers of progress or indicators that are going to tell you, like, yeah, let's go for it?
Um, yes, I am. So I take progress pictures, would check in every like once a week. We do that with Adam. We're keeping on track with where I'm at as far as how I look with my weight. He's seen me since 2019, so he knows like, okay, this is where we want you to stay
Mhm.
within this range right here and build from here. We've built a new workout program that we're working on now that we just started. Um, and also, getting back to lifting heavy these past couple weeks since my knee hasn't had any issues with it. So we're just, dialing in with that, with the training.
That's
So
so
I'm excited
exciting.
to see. Yeah, this new program he just gave me. I was like, this last one I did, I'm like, oh my goodness, there was so much squatting. I was like, okay, I
Oh,
got 8 weeks of this.
exactly. When he sends that new 8 week block, and you're like, oh, okay, so
Man.
I guess this is what my life is like. At one point he had me doing hip thrusts. Like like I can't even tell you. I was doing so many hip thrusts that I thought I'll never leave the gym because I gotta keep loading the plates, unloading the plates, but I gotta go do a different time. And I can't do this. It was like
See,
just torture.
I think that has become my favorite because me and Sarah, which is his wife, used to train together when they lived here in Ohio. So she's a beast, by the way.
She
Sarah,
is such a
she
bee.
she is the best workout partner to have if you are trying to like have somebody motivate you to keep up. She will keep you on your toes. We would hip thrust because she hates hip thrust too, but we would like glute bridge. And I must say, like, she has got me strong in that
Oh,
area. So after she left, after she moved, I just kept going. I'm like, you know what? I am going to hit a certain weight with these hip thrusts until I get comfortable. And it took me a long time to
mm.
get comfortable to hip thrust heavy. And now that I do it, it's like, all right, we're gonna go hip thrust now. Like
Uh,
it's a
oh,
must.
yeah, the thrust is a must.
It's a
It's
must.
true. When I got pregnant, I was like, dang it. Like it started hurting after a while where I could no longer do.
Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't put the bar. I couldn't even do like the padded kind. So I've done like body weight ones, which are still good, or like ones off the exercise ball. But man, I'm actually so excited for once I don't have a basketball, I can
yeah.
I can really it's just a lot of pressure. So I'm excited to do that again. But I hear you on the 8 week updates where you read it, you're like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. Yes. I'm like, am I supposed to be doing all these squats, Adam? I'm like, this is a different squat variation. And then you have me doing this squat variation and then superset with this squat variation. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen as much progress as working with Adam and his programs, especially from improvement season to improvement season. Like I never personally never felt better in the gym, never felt stronger. So it
hmm
was worth it.
Yeah.
As you know, you've been doing this with him for a decade, basically,
Yes.
almost.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how this program works.
Good. Yeah, I can't wait too. So, before I get how people can follow your journey, I'd love to get your best advice. So, what would be your best advice for someone who has never competed before but wants to, as well as your best advice for somebody who is on their road to pro?
Oh, so someone who's never competed and they want to. I would just say just do it. Like just if it's a fear of yours, like it was a fear of mine, and I feel like I just faced my fear and just gave it a try. Because life is too short to say like I should have did this, I should have tried that. Like you never know what if something that you're is like potential is good at, like if it's gonna be something that is just gonna change your life around or something that is just gonna be the better for you and influence for other people, like just go for it. Just I never thought that I would compete ever in life. And the fact that I tried it out and it ended up being something that I was good at that I never knew I was good at in the first place is so rewarding. So even if you don't do your best your first show, you still gave it a try to see if that's something that you know you can accomplish. And then also, if you're like looking to improve your health, like it opens up your eyes mentally, physically to see like what your body is capable of doing. And it also might change like your eating habits as well. So I would just say go for it.
Uh,
And then you said far as becoming a pro,
yes, as someone on the road.
um, on the road to becoming a pro, it's scary at first because you have to think about the fact that everybody has won their pro card and everybody has won a show. So it's okay if you don't win your first show. It's okay if you don't place like you want to. It's not the end of the road. Just keep pushing yourself, challenge yourself. If you really, really want it, you know what to do. You have the tools, you've done it before and do it to improve. Like, listen to the judges because they know that what they see might be different from what you see, and just go in the gym and work on that. So, and go up there and have fun. Like,
Oh, that's such great advice. Yeah, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
no, 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 I was done.
That's really great advice. I love that. The emphasis too on just keeping going. It's not the end of the road just because you didn't place. I really like that perspective a lot. And I think your journey is a good testament to how things aren't always linear, but you can keep
Mhm.
improving and enjoying it. So I'd love for people to follow your journey moving forward, maybe work with you or get in touch with some of your codes that you had shared. So how can people follow you and find you?
So I post mostly I'm on Instagram. I have a Facebook as well too. It's Meshaya underscore IFBB Pro. On my Instagram, and I should have my Facebook page linked. My name is the same. I also have my handles on there where you can get discounts at Clean Eats. I also have Toxic Angel on their code. I also have
Your
a
fairy and
yeah, Shoe Fairy on
and
there. And then Morphogen Nutrition. Morphogen Nutrition, let me give them a big shout out. Morphogen Nutrition, Ben, thank you so much for getting me through prep. Whew,
oh,
I needed those supplements. Like, your hormones are like
yeah.
everywhere when you're in prep. And I reached out to him so much to ask him advice on certain supplements to take and
Oh,
try. And being a sponsorship with him as well, by getting the products that Morphicom definitely helps with anxiety for sure. I
oh,
have to have Morphicom. That's something that definitely helped me along the way.
oh.
With hormones, Vixen also helps with your hormones because when you diet down, you just don't know if you're hungry, if you're tired, whatever the case may be. Like those things help. So Morphogen Nutrition, you can use my code Meshaya also to get a discount with them. So I think that's
Wonderful.
all of them so
That was a
far. Yeah.
really sweet shout out. That I'm glad to hear that. It's nice when there's very genuine connections with sponsors, and we'll make sure we put that information in the show notes page. So you guys, that's always on celestial.fit/podcast. If you're listening right away, it'll be at the top of the page. If you're listening in the future, just scroll down to the category section, which is alphabetized. Not only will you see how you can connect with us, but you're also going to see a full summary of the episode. You'll see a bulleted list of the topics we covered, as well as episode timestamps. So you can go back and listen to your favorite part, share with your friends, your family, your teammates. Let them know what you love, what resonates with you. And of course, tag us. It means a lot to the athletes, or just message us. It really goes a long way for the athletes when you let them know like what stood out to them, or what you thought about it, or you just let us know you listen. So I greatly appreciate it when y'all do that. And I just really like I look so glowy right now because I never turned the light on before we recorded this. So I'm like, notice the sun has like completely set. But this is an opportunity for me to remind people too, if you don't watch on YouTube, we do videos for every single podcast. So if you're interested in watching the podcast, and either aren't or you haven't, it's always on YouTube at celestial_fit. If you need help finding that link, it's in my Instagram, same handle, celestial_fit. So, all that being said, I am so grateful for y'all tuning in, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world where you're listening to this episode. Just make it awesome.